Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to study all the muscle attachment which is there in norma frontalis. In the previous lecture, we studied all the bones, the sutures, the parts of bones which we can see in the norma frontalis view. Okay. So first we will start with the frontalis muscle which is on the forehead. Now let me show you the muscle which is frontalis muscle. Here, this muscle is the frontalis muscle. This structure is epicranial, that is above the cranial part. Cranial aponeurosis. So its origin means from where the muscles starts originating. So can you see the frontalis muscles originate from this epicranial aponeurosis, but it inserts itself here into the skin. Am I clear? Into the skin of the eyebrows. See here. And here there is the insertion of which muscle? Frontalis muscle. Here you have the epicranial aponeurosis, which is the connective tissue, and from those connective tissue arises the frontalis muscle. This is the frontalis muscle, and it gets inserted into the forehead, the skin which is present over the forehead and the eyebrow. And what are its function? Its function is elevation of eyebrows, wrinkles on the forehead. This is frontalis muscle. What is its origin? Origin is the epicranial aponeurosis. Epicranial aponeurosis. And insertion. Where is its insertion? It inserted into the skin of eyebrows and forehead. Skin of eyebrows and forehead. And due to this muscle, this frontalis muscle, you are able to elevate your eyebrows like this, and then you can see the wrinkles over your forehead because of this muscle. And even it helps in the movement of scalp. Some of the person can move their scalp also, and that is due to the frontalis muscle. Am I clear? Now we will study about the other muscle known as, this muscle is corrugator supercilii muscle. Corrugator supercilii muscle. Can you see its origin? From the medial part of supraorbital margin. This is the supraorbital margin, and this muscle originates from medial part of supraorbital margin, and it also gets inserted into the skin of the eyebrow. And which part of the skin? The medial part of the skin, and it helps to pull the eyebrow. Okay, its origin is medial part of supraorbital margin, and its insertion, it is inserted into which part? Skin of medial half of the eyebrow. Skin of medial half of eyebrow, and it also helps to pull the eyebrow. Okay, then we have another muscle. See here, this is the origin of the other muscle known as depressor supercilii muscle. Okay, this muscle is the origin of depressor. This point is the origin of depressor supercilii muscle. Three muscle we studied. First one was frontalis muscle, then the second was this corrugator supercilii muscle, and now this is depressor supercilii muscle. Here also the origin of the muscle is the medial part of the orbital margin. Where it is? The medial part of the orbital margin. This is the orbital margin, and this is the medial boundary of orbital margin, and here you can see the depressor supercilii muscle is originating from this part, and it also get inserted into the skin and subcutaneous tissue under eyebrow. So the function of this will be the same as that of the corrugator supercilii muscle. What? To pull the eyebrow. The function of both this muscle is to pull the eyebrow. Okay, and skin above the eye. Am I clear? So these were some of the muscles. Now we have the another muscles which is surrounding the eye. The muscle which is surrounding the eye, like this muscle is surrounding like this, and it is also originating from the medial part of orbital margin, and name of this muscle is orbicularis oris. Oculi. It is not oris. Oris is the mouth. It is oculi. Am I clear? So it arises from the frontal process of maxilla and from nasal part of the frontal bone. Am I clear? The frontal, yesterday in the last lecture I explained you the frontal process of maxilla. This is the frontal process of maxilla. Here also on the left side, this is the frontal process of maxilla. And see its origin. 2 point of origin is there. From here it is originating, and from there, here also it is originating. So what are the point of origin? This one, this point is there, and it is the frontal process of maxilla. 2 point of origin. Frontal process of maxilla. And the second point of origin is this point, which is the nasal part of the frontal bone. What is nasal part of frontal bone? So can you see how is it originating? From here also and from here also, and it is surrounding this structure. Can you see this structure? Okay. And what is its function? See, function of this orbicularis oris, function is it surrounds the orbit, the upper and lower eyelid. So it helps in the movement of eyelid also. Okay. So these were the point of origin. Now the point of insertion. The point of insertion is where this muscle get inserted. Skin which is surrounding the orbit, that is upper and lower eyelid. Skin which is surrounding the orbit and even in eyelid, Okay. So this is the insertion where these muscle get inserted. But from where is it originating? From these 2 points, 1 and 2. First is the nasal part of frontal bone, and the second is the frontal process of maxilla. These are the point of origin. Am I clear? Then we have another set of muscles known as procerus muscle. Now I will show you these structures which we studied now. See the structure. This is the frontalis which we studied. This structure is depressor supercilii muscle, and when you hide this depressor supercilii muscle, inside this structure, this is the corrugator supercilii muscle. Okay, and here this muscle is procerus muscle. What is this procerus muscle? It is the muscle which is covering the nasal bone and lateral nasal cartilage. Can you see? This is the nasal cartilage part. This is the nasal cartilage, and this procerus muscle is covering a part of nasal cartilage. Okay, this is the point of origin. And then skin, it is inserting itself into the skin of lower forehead between this part. See, between the eyebrows. See, the point of origin. Point of origin is which muscle? Procerus muscle. Okay, so origin will be the fascia. Fascia means connective tissue which is covering the nasal bone. Origin is fascia of connective tissue which is covering nasal bone. So it is not attaching itself directly to the bone. It is just attaching to the connective tissue or the fascia which is covering the nasal bone and lateral cartilage. Okay, and it is inserting itself. Now the point of insertion. Where is it inserting itself? It is inserting itself into the skin of lower forehead. Insertion is the skin of lower forehead. Am I clear? Between the eyebrows. Can you see here? Between the eyebrows. That's why the direction of muscle fiber is like this. Can you see the direction of muscle fiber? Here in case of orbicularis oculi, direction of muscle fiber is like this. Corrugator supercilii from origin to insertion like this. Sorry, depressor supercilii. This is insertion. Skin of lower forehead between eyebrows. Am I clear? And it also has the function of depression of medial angle of eyebrows. Depression of medial angle of eyebrows. When you look like this, this is the medial angle of the eyebrows, and the person, you have seen many of the dancers can move the eyebrows because they train these muscles. Depression of medial angle of the eyebrows. Write it down. The function of this procerus muscle. What is the function of this procerus? Function is the depression of the medial angle of the eyebrows. Am I clear? Now we have some other sets of muscles also. Let me show you. See this structure here. Let me remove these muscles and show you the origin of other muscles. See here in this diagram. Can you see this structure? Levator labii superioris origin. This point is the origin of which muscle? This point is the origin of levator labii superioris. Okay, and here one more levator labii superioris, alachnese. Am I clear? Let me show you these diagram. This is the origin of which muscle? Levator levi superioris. Levator word means which, the muscle which helps in elevation. Okay, levator levi superioris. Let me write it here. Levator levi superioris. Am I clear? And this muscle is also levator levi superioris, but this is levator levi superioris alegnesi. This is levator levi superioris alegnesi. So first we will study about this levator levi superioris, and we will first see the origin. The origin is between infraorbital margin. Can you see this structure? This is infraorbital margin, and here we have a foramen known as infraorbital foramen, and the origin of this muscle is between these two structures. So origin is where? Between the infraorbital margin and infraorbital foramen orbital foramen. Am I clear? Can you see this is the infraorbital margin, and here we have infraorbital foramen, and there is a origin of muscle known as levator levi superioris. Okay, now we have the insertion. This muscle gets inserted like this. This muscle moves like this and gets inserted into the skin of upper lip, and it helps in elevation of upper lip. You can move your lip like this. This upper lip can be moved up, or it can elevate itself due to this muscle. Which muscle? Levator muscle, which helps in elevation. Okay, so insertion, write about insertion. Where is it inserting itself? Insertion is the skin of upper lip. Am I clear? And what is the action? Action is helps in elevation of upper lip. And since it is helping the elevation, that's why its name is levator levi superioris. Now we will study about levator levi superioris alegnesi. It arises from the frontal process of maxilla. You can see here, this is the frontal process of maxilla, and this muscle, that is levator levi superioris alegnesi, arises from the frontal process of maxilla. And where is it inserting itself? It is inserting itself into this cartilage, which is known as alar cartilage of nose, and also in the upper lip. Am I clear? It gets inserted into alar cartilage of the nose. This is the alar cartilage of the nose. This portion is the alar cartilage of the nose, and the second part of insertion, it is inserting here and here to the lip part. Which part of the lip? Upper part of the lip, and this also helps in elevation of upper lip. And since it is also inserting into the nose, so it has in flaring of the nail. What does the word flaring mean? Flaring means you can do during when you have cold and you have watery nose. Then what you used to do? You used to do flaring. This is known as flaring of the nail, and this occurs due to which muscle? This is levator levi superioris alegnesi. Am I clear? So what are its point of insertion? The point of insertion of levator levi superioris is the frontal process of maxilla. Am I clear? This muscle is levator levi superioris alegnesi. What is its origin? Origin is frontal process of maxilla. And what is the point of insertion? Point of insertion is, there are 2 points of insertion. What are that? First is alar cartilage of nose. Where is it? It is here. This is this part. Okay. And what is the second point of insertion? Upper lip. Okay. And what is its action? It helps in elevation of, that's why it is also levator, because it is helping in elevation of upper lip, and flaring, since it is also inserting itself into the cartilage of the nose, so it helps in the flaring of the nares. What is nares? The part of the nose. The nares is the nostril, and it flares. Its diameter increases due to which muscle? Levator levi superioris alegnesi. Okay, am I clear? Let me show you both these muscles, that is levator levi superioris and levator levi superioris alegnesi, in the diagram. I think you got this concept clearly. Now let me show you where these muscles are present. how these muscles are arranged. Okay, so can you see this muscle? This is levator levi superioris muscle of the neck. And when we add one more layer, this muscle, can you see this muscles? Yes, it is originating from, let me remove this orbicularis oculi to show you. Can you see this structure? This is the origin of which muscle? Levator levi superioris iliac and there is a 2 point of insertion. One is here and the second is here in the upper lip, skin of upper lip, and the second is alar cartilage. Am I clear? Now we will study about the muscle levator anguli oris. Let me remove some layer of muscle so that I can expose that muscle. Can you see this muscle? The muscle which is colored in yellow. What I did, I removed the layer. This is the topmost layer of the muscle. I removed first layer, then we got the second layer. Then we went more deep inside this muscles. We removed one more layer and we got this layer. Okay. Now this name of this muscle is levator anguli oris. This is also levator. It is elevating but at an angle. Can you see this part? This muscle is levator anguli oris muscle. And this is the point of origin of this muscle, where this is the canine fossa. I will show you what is canine fossa. Origin of this muscle is canine fossa. Word fossa means slight depression, like this. This is slight depression. This is known as fossa. And since the name is canine fossa, this is the slight depression which is present lateral to the canine. If there is a canine, so lateral to canine, there is a one fossa, vertical fossa, which is known as or the canine fossa, and it helps in. It provides the site of origin of the muscle known as levator anguli oris. And can you see the insertion? The insertion is in which part? At the angle of the mouth. This part, angle of the mouth. This is the angle of the mouth. Insertion is in angle of the mouth. Am I clear? Insertion is an angle of the mouth. And what is the action? The action is clear itself. What is the action? Elevation of angle of the mouth, like this. So this is the angle of the mouth and it gets elevated. Why? Due to this levator anguli oris. Action is elevation of. Since it is also levator, this is also levator, therefore it will do elevation. Elevation of which part? Angle of the mouth. Angle of the mouth. Am I clear? So we studied about these sets of levator muscle. First we studied about levator levi superioris. Then second we studied about levator levi superioris iliac nasi. Then we studied about levator anguli oris. Three pairs of levator muscles are there, which is present on both the side, that is left and right. Okay, and since this name is, it helps in elevation of a part, that is lip, so that's why its name is levator. Am I clear? Now we will study about the zygomaticus major and zygomaticus minor. Let me remove this part. Can you see this part here? And how you can differentiate when you get the real skull in your hand. You should not confuse with yourself with levator levi superioris part and zygomaticus muscles. See, you can see these zygomaticus muscles are properly on zygomatic bone, while levator levi superioris is on the maxilla. All levator muscles are on maxilla. They are not on zygomatic bone. Can you see this part? All the three levator muscle which we studied now are present on maxilla, while the zygomaticus muscles are present on zygomatic bone. This is the zygomatic bone. So this is the way you can differentiate. Now we will add the muscle. This is the attachment of which I colored in pink, is the attachment of zygomaticus major muscle. Okay, and this is the attachment of zygomaticus minor muscle. So what is the difference in their origin? Just the difference in position. Zygomaticus major is lateral, that is little away from midline, while zygomaticus minor is towards the midline. Okay, let me show you how the muscles are attached. This is zygomaticus major muscle, because see, can you see zygomaticus major, and this is zygomaticus minor, and it is more medial to major muscle. And where is its insertion? This is the origin. Where is its origin? Here the origin is lateral surface of which bone? Zygomatic bone. zygomatic bone. And here the medial surface of the zygomatic bone origin is surface of anterior, more anterior surface. We can write there anterior surface of zygomatic bone, which zygomaticus minor. Okay, and insertion is the angle of the mouth. Can you see this is the angle of the mouth, and here both are inserted. Okay, and the function of both these muscles, zygomaticus minor and zygomaticus major, is elevation of upper lip. Okay, but this major muscle, it is also helping in drawing the angle of mouth laterally. Okay, let me show you zygomaticus major muscle. You have seen the origin. This is the origin, lateral surface of zygomatic bone. Where is its insertion? Angle of mouth. This is the insertion point. Insertion. I is angle of mouth. Am I clear? And what is the action? Action is it helps in elevation of the mouth. First is elevation of mouth, and the second is it draws the angle of the mouth. This is the angle of the mouth, and when you do this movement, you are drawing the angle of mouth laterally. Drawing the angle of mouth laterally. Am I clear? So this was the introduction or the description of the zygomaticus major. Now we will study about the zygomaticus minor muscle, which is, so this zygomaticus minor muscle is a little anterior to or present on the anterior surface of the zygomatic bone, which is more medial to this zygomaticus major. This is the zygomaticus minor muscle. Origin anterior surface of zygomatic bone. Am I clear? And what is its for? Where is it inserting itself? Insertion is angle of mouth, and the function will be the elevation of upper lip and the angle of the mouth. Action will be elevation of upper lip and angle, both angle of mouth. Am I clear? So this was the intro or the description of zygomaticus major and zygomaticus minor muscle. Am I clear? Now we have some structures, some other set of muscles like nasalis muscle. Can you see this muscle? This is nasalis muscle. We have two nasalis muscle. One is this nasalis muscle and the another is this nasalis muscle. Okay. So what is the function of these nasalis muscle? It just borders the nasal or nasal notch. It just borders the, let me remove these muscles and show you the point. Can you see the 2 points? This point. This is the point of origin of nasalis muscle, and here this is also the, and this is also the point of, this is the, can you see here, this is the point of the origin of nasalis muscle. This is also the point of, can you see the pink part? This is the point of the origin of alar part of nasalis muscle. So we have the two sets of nasalis muscle. One is this, the transverse part of nasalis muscle, and one is the alar part of the nasalis muscle, and it helps in the flaring of the nares, that is nostril. Am I clear? Now we have some other muscles like incisivus muscle. This, let me show you this muscle here. Here the name of the muscle is incisivus, and it arises from area which is just below depressor septi. This is the muscle of, this is the origin of depressor septi muscle, and it also helps in flaring of the nose and movement of the lips little bit. Okay, and this incisivus muscle, it is present here, which is present just below the depressor septi, and it also forms the part of orbicularis oris muscle. Here we have the orbicularis oris muscle which is surrounding this, and this muscle, this incisivus muscle, which is the origin is present here, which is below the depressor septi muscle here. Okay, this is the incisivus muscle and it is present below depressor septi, and it forms the part of orbicularis oris. Okay, am I clear? Now we will study about the orbicularis oris muscle. We have this muscle known as orbicularis oris. Can you see this muscle, orbicularis oris? Let me remove. This muscle is orbicularis oris. Orbicularis oris. Now what is its origin? It is anterior. Anterior means anterior part, anterior surface of maxilla as well as mandible, like this here. From here it is originating like this. Okay, so this portion is the what is the anterior medial surface of mandible as well as maxilla is the origin of this is the anterior medial surface of maxilla as well as mandible. Am I clear? And it gets inserted into the skin and fascia of lips, and that's why you can move your lips due to which muscle? Due to this orbicularis muscle. Okay, orbicularis oris muscle. Insertion, where is its insertion? Into the skin and fascia. Fascia means connective tissue. Fascia of lips. And what is its function? The function is compression and protrusion. What is compression? Like this. Protrusion, like this. Protrusion of lips. Am I clear? So we have these structures. Okay, so this was the orbicularis oris muscle. So we will mark some more muscles here which we have to study. This is orbicularis oris muscle, and this muscle is known as depressor septi muscle. Here this muscle is known as LR muscle, nasal muscle, and it is the LR part of the nasal muscle. This is transverse part of nasal muscle. Am I clear? We studied all the muscles which is present in the upper part of the face. Am I clear? Now we will study all the muscle of the lower part of the face. Here we have this muscle. Can you see? This muscle is known as depressor labii muscle. This muscle was the levator labii. Labii means lip. Okay, so it helps in elevation of the lip, and here we have this muscle. This helps in depression of the lip. It will help in depression. It will move the lip downward. Which lip? The lower lip downward. So that's why this name is the depressor labii muscle. Can you see this part? It is present on the origin is here. Can you see the origin part? This is the origin part. Okay, and origin is anterior lateral body part of the body of mandible. Okay, here we have one more set of muscles. This is depressor anguli oris. We have there levator anguli oris and we have this depressor anguli oris. Am I clear? And it helps in depressing the angle of the lips. We have one more muscles. This is mentalis muscle, and the origin is incisive fossa. Which fossa? Incisive fossa of the mandible. Okay, and it inserts itself into the skin of the chin, and it helps in the protrusion of lower lip and the skin of chin. Am I clear? So these were some of the muscles, but one more muscles which we need to study, and that is important for us, is the buccinator muscle. Let me remove all these muscles. It is little inside part. Can you see this muscle here? This is the buccinator muscle. This is the buccinator muscle. Let me show you and gives little description about this buccinator muscle. This muscle is known as buccinator muscle. Am I clear? What is its origin? The origin is, actually it is not, there is no single origin, there are many origins. First is the buccinator ridge of mandible. Can you see here? This is known as buccinator ridge of mandible. Buccinator ridge of mandible. Okay, and alveolar process. Can you see this part? Alveolar, second origin, alveolar process of maxilla. Okay, and here you have one raphe. When you will open your mouth, you can see on the both the side you have a raphe. This is known as pterygomandibular raphe. Third origin is pterygomandibular raphe. Raphe is the collection of connective tissue. And where is it inserting itself? It is inserting itself at the angle of mouth and lateral portion of upper and lower lip. Inserting itself, insertion is the angle of mouth and lateral portion of upper and lower lip. Lateral portion of upper and lower lip. Am I clear? And it helps in action, mastication. It helps in mastication. Am I clear? So this was the function of the buccinator muscle. So let's revise all the muscles which we studied now in this norma frontalis view. Okay. This was we will start from above. This was the frontalis muscle. Okay. This was the frontalis muscle. What is the origin? Epicranial aponeurosis. What is the insertion? Skin of eyebrows. Skin of eyebrows. Okay. And it helps in elevation of eyebrows. Then we have this muscle. This is known as depressor supercilii muscle. It originates from the medial part of orbital margin. Okay. Orbital margin, medial part of the orbital margin. Am I clear? And inserts itself into the eyebrow. When you remove this part, you can see this muscle. It is corrugator supercilii. Origin is medial part of supraorbital margin, and insertion is skin of medial half of the eyebrow and helps in pulling of eyebrow. So we have the structure. This muscle is known as orbicularis oculi, which is surrounding the eye. There are 2 points of attachment. One is the nasal part of the frontal bone. 2 points of origin. One is the nasal part of frontal bone, and the second is which part? Second is the frontal process of maxilla. Am I clear? Now we have some, this is the levator levi superioris. This is the levator levi superioris alegnesi. We have the zygomaticus major, which is lateral, zygomaticus minor, which is inside, that is on the anterior surface of the zygomatic bone. This is nasalis muscle. This is the transverse part of the transverse nasalis muscle, and here we have the LR part of the nasalis muscle. This is depressor septi muscles, which depresses the nasal septum like this. It helps in the depression of nasal septum. We have orbicularis oris muscle. Okay. Then we have some depressor muscle. This is depressor levi inferioris. This is depressor anguli, and this is mentalis muscle. And we have the layer, this known as platysma muscle, which is supplying this is the fascia. Okay, we will study about this in detail when we will study the neck. First, we studied all the muscles which are attached to the bone, which we can see in norma frontalis. Okay, thank you so much. That's all for today's lecture. Please share and subscribe this channel.